So first of all, well, I didn't, like I said, I was kind of just winging that one, but I thought since we had kids, why not show it? And people have already asked questions about what to do with kids. So there's live examples. My website has a bunch of other stuff, obviously, that's for free for children and parents. But what I want to thank a couple people reached out after last session and just kind of thanked for the talk and said that, that idea of kind of diving in deeper to yourself really connected. So that was cool. Again, I want to start our practice now today with a relaxation body scan. And then we're going to go more into some teachings on metta, which is this idea of loving kindness. We've looked at how to love yourself. We looked at self-compassion. We've talked about the acronyms of RAIN, right? Recognize what's present, accept and acknowledge it, identify where it's present, and then not attach to it. When we're looking at moving forward with this practice of metta, it's really how to plant the seed of self-love and allow it to extend out. But before we do that, let's do a brief little practice of relaxation so we can let our body relax. All right, so it doesn't matter how old you are, anyone can do this practice, no matter what your age is. So for the kids that are watching, cool, you can watch and you can do this. For the adults that are watching, again, you can sit, rest, or lie, whatever's the most comfortable for you. So if you want to lay down, totally cool. If you want to rest, totally fine. And what we want to do is we just want to let our eyes close. So as we allow our eyes to close, just find your breathing in your body. So if you want, just purposely take that breath in through your nose. And then as you breathe out, just releasing your body, letting it soften. And again, just breathing in through your nose. And then when you're ready, breathing out. And again, we're breathing in through our nose. We're taking that long breath out. And I want you to imagine that there's a spotlight. So we're going to put that spotlight on our forehead, and we're going to let our forehead be, all our awareness is on our forehead, and we're going to let our forehead relax. So now let your forehead relax. And then you can so if you want, you can wiggle your forehead, right? Or you can put your hand on your forehead just so you know where your forehead is, because maybe this is the first time ever, even as an adult, that you've thought about your forehead. And then let that awareness now go into your eyes and let your eyes relax. So again, for me right now, I'm just gently kind of bringing my hands around my eyes into my forehead just to bring awareness there. Of course, you don't have to do that. You can just have that spotlight and then let that awareness now go into your cheeks, into your mouth, into your jaw. And we're just going to let that all just kind of relax and soften. And again, notice that your mind may wander away. We're not going to get mad at your mind for having thoughts. We're going to come back and allow our entire face now to just relax and soften. And again, when the mind goes away, noticing and coming back and just allowing to soften. And then what I want you to do is I want you to allow your neck and shoulders now to relax. So you're just giving yourself permission to allow your neck and shoulders to just relax. You're allowing your neck and shoulders to just let go. And again, maybe your mind is going off to thoughts, or your mind is going off to thinking, or your mind is going off to movement in your house that's not yours. Maybe it's your kids moving around, or maybe you hear your partner in the living room. Again, we're just noticing those as sound, and we're coming right back to just allowing the neck and shoulders, and now allowing your arms to relax. So we're just letting the arms relax from the shoulders down into the biceps and triceps, all the way down now to your fingertips. And again, you can kind of open your hands and move your fingertips if you want. But just allow yourself just to let that permission go all the way down your fingertips. And now starting at your upper back, And this one I love breathing in. So as I breathe in, I imagine kind of that spotlight starting at my upper back. And then as I breathe out, I'm just going to let my upper back, mid back, and lower back relax as I breathe out. And again, we can do that by breathing in, bringing that awareness now to your shoulders and your neck. And then as you breathe out, again, just kind of letting the back just slowly relax. And again, when your mind wanders off, there's no need to get mad or frustrated, just coming back. And now allow that awareness now to go into your chest. So now we're just aware of our chest or our heart center. So maybe as you breathe in, notice that your chest moves up. And then as you breathe out, that your chest kind of starts to shrink, right? So there's that expansion and then contraction that happens when you're doing this. And then let your stomach relax. So just letting your stomach relax or let go. And again, your mind is going to wander. And then the mind goes off. We just come back. And now let the legs relax. Allow the legs to relax and soften. And then lastly, let our entire body be sitting, resting in this spot. So you're aware of your entire body sitting or resting. And again, maybe your mind is going off to thoughts or thinking. There's no need to get frustrated with that. Come back. Now purposely breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4, then out the mouth for that 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in for that 1, 2, 3, 4, and that out for that 1, 2, 3, 4, and in for that 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that out 2, 3, 4. Beautiful. Allow just allow your eyes to open. That is, well, number one, if your kids did that and they're still around, that's pretty good because that's an adult meditation practice. That was about 10 minutes long. Now, that is a perfect practice to start your day, right? That's a body scan. Now, the problem is, let's say Ian, I'm picking on Ian today, we're using Ian, I don't think I'm really picking on him. But let's say that Ian's like, all right, I'm going to do that practice every morning. Sweet. What's the possibility? Fall back asleep. So quite often I'll set a secondary alarm just to wake myself up in case I fall back asleep. Why? We are conditioned when our eyes are closed and we're laying down to fall asleep. So there's a high chance that if you're going to do this as a regular practice, especially in the morning, set a secondary alarm for like 15 minutes later, because it's quite often you might fall asleep. Now, let's say that Danielle wants to use this practice at night to help fall asleep. Totally fine. Right? Again, I talked about this before, way back when, but there's a meditation for a sleep aid meditation that you can use on my website. I call it meditation for sleep that helps get your mind ready for bed. Because when most people can't sleep, why can't they sleep? It's because their mind's doing this, right? Their mind is like sprinting at nighttime and trying to figure all these things out or going through the day, what happened the day before. So there's our kind of tips and tricks for the week. So the main practice this week is one of my faves, which is this idea of metta and love and kindness. So we're looking at, again, the theme of these last 4 weeks are fill your cup up so then you can help others support them. Because if Cass comes home and she had a hard day at work or in life, and then there's kids hanging off of her and like, Mom, I need this, Mom, I need that. That's a lot of energy out. Yes, yeah, right? There's a lot of energy out, a lot. And when that happens, and then we're deficient in energy the next day, we are more likely to make choices or negative choices much more easier. So that's called reaction, right? That's when we're reacting in a negative way. So when we start to fill our cup up and we start watering our seed first, it allows us to give more. And that's like the beautiful teaching about metta. And this is how it works. We start with, just like we did about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we say to ourselves, may I be loved, may I be healthy, may I be happy, may I experience the ease of well-being, and may I be at peace. We do this and we're filling this cup up. What you're really saying is, how am I doing right now? Right? And what do I need right now? I always got frustrated with that teaching of like, make sure you put your air mask on before you help someone else, but it's really true. If you're in the plane and that happens, you need to do that or before you pass out, right? What good are you if you're passed out? In my experience, working with humans and the way that I work with them, especially when you're working frontline, whatever capacity you are, you're so much more likely to give out most of the time. And then you go home and then you do that for free. And then your friends probably text you like, hey girl, what's going on? And you're like, what is that? When my buddies text me and they're like, hey man, how you doing? I know it's not 90% of the time. It's like, what's going on with you? Right? It's like, oh, I'm doing well. How about you? Well, I'm really, this right now. And it's just like, hey, much more energy out. So if you were to just like for a week, let's say, just take note of how much energy you go out and how much energy you take from people. I bet it's like, for most people on this call, I bet it's like 10 times the one. Right? I bet if you look at truly, right? I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm saying this to be aware. And if you're like, no, I'm pretty even, great. That's amazing. But if you look at it, like I just look at my day, I had a couple webinars, I had 5 calls. I'm a parent until 9 o'clock. Well, I'm still a parent after 9 o'clock, but my wife doesn't get home until about 9, right? Depending on her shift and how many patients she sees. So I have a lot of energy going out from 9 to 9. I had a little moment, like an hour workout here, 45-minute walk here. That's about it today. But that filled my cup enough for me to do this tonight. Right after I'm done this and after kids go to bed, I'm gonna hang out with my wife and have like just some TV and hang out. Maybe we'll read a book kind of time. That fills my cup even more. Right? Like you have to find in your day how you can fill your cup up. I know, and the data doesn't lie, you having a regular practice of mindfulness helps fill your cup up. It's that emotional investment that you're making in yourself. And you do this all the time with other people. All I'm suggesting or asking is that you do it for yourself. 1/10 of the time that you do for other people. Let's just start there even. Okay. And then that's really hard, especially for parents. And I get it. I promise I do. But I think one of the best things about role modeling and healthy role modeling is to show how important self-care is and how important our mental health is. Right. Like I tell my kids to brush their teeth every day. Right. I brush my teeth every day. I want them to see the same importance of mental hygiene and mental health. And no matter what your reason for sticking with me on these calls are, you're here probably for you. And I love that. And that's what makes me really excited, to get emails and messages from people saying, hey, thanks so much. This really helped, or this really hit home, or hey, any suggestions how I can use it this way. Keep those coming. Right. And I mean, after our week, I think next week's our last week. After we're done, it doesn't mean that we're done. Right. If you have questions about the practice, keep them coming, please. Okay. And I mean that. Okay. So I want to get into the practice of metta tonight. And I want you to think of it in this way of filling your cup up first, and then we can fill up our loved ones, and then those that we like, and then those that we don't even know. That's like how it goes. So we start in and we go out, right? And if you have even that idea for this week, like what do I need this week? There's nothing wrong with asking yourself that, right? Like Bo, my youngest, who I so kindly, I pulled him out and did that. When I go to sick kids, right, because he's involved, and I talked briefly about it, when he's in the sick kid study because he was born with this incredibly rare tumor. 1 in 600,000 people have it. So anytime I go there, it's like crazy mixed emotions. I have mixed emotions from like when they thought maybe it was cancer to like an amazing amount of gratitude, and then to like feeling awful for some of the people that I'm seeing go in also to the study, or people at sick kids with children on a ventilator or on oxygen. But like all of that stuff as a human just kind of hits me here because I'm a human. And the first thing I do, and this might sound crazy, the first thing I do now is go, wow, this is like really hard for me. I don't go like, oh, this is really hard for Bo, or this is really hard for Jen, or this is really hard for that parent, with that child. I first start saying, just this is really hard for me, just acknowledging that. And that's what you would do to your loved ones. If someone came home and had a awful experience, you wouldn't say, well, this is really hard on me. You would say, well, it must be really hard on you. There's nothing wrong with just calling it how it is. And I think creating a system in your brain that you're asking yourself, how am I doing, is a very healthy system to have. I'm not worried about people on this call being like narcissistic about it and putting yourself always first over your family all the time. So let's get into a brief practice. Enough talking by me. So what I want you to do, again, I want you to just kind of set your intent for this practice. So my intent for this brief practice is to cultivate a sense of love for myself and others. So for you, set your intent for whatever connects with you. And all I ask that you do is, again, you just allow your eyes to relax, allow your body to relax into the chair or into the couch, or if you're laying down, to your mat. And just thinking of the ways that you do love and cherish for your own well-being, how you do love and care for yourself. And all I want you to do is, again, if you're comfortable doing this, I suggest you do. You put your hand on your chest, wherever it feels comfortable. You can go 1/1. You can just go 2 on it or 1 on it. I naturally just go to 1 over my heart. And as you breathe in, just notice that breath in, and as you breathe out, kind of releasing out, and just repeating to yourself, may I be loved, may I be healthy, may I be happy, may I experience the ease of well-being, and may I be at peace. And again, we might notice the mind wandering or going to and from, but starting to come back and ask yourself again, or stating to yourself, may I be loved, may I be healthy, may I be happy, and may I experience the ease of well-being. And now just bringing your awareness now back to your breath. And I want you to think about someone who's easy to love. Someone who's easy to love. And holding them in your heart, saying the same thing, may they be loved. May they be healthy. May they be happy. And may they experience the ease of well-being. And may they be at peace. And now bringing in more of those who you love. So now I'm thinking, I thought of my wife there. So now I'm bringing forward both my boys, my parents, and my sisters, saying the exact same thing. May they be loved. May they be healthy. May they be happy. May they experience the ease of well-being, and may they be at peace. And now we're extending that even further to maybe the people that you work with, or people that you help and support. We're looking at to those maybe your colleagues or neighbors, just to those that you know. May they all be loved and felt loved. May they all be healthy. May they all be happy. May they all experience the ease of well-being, and may they all be at peace. And the last one, we extend it even further. So to those who are experiencing any mental health, or those who are experiencing addictions, or for those experiencing hunger, to all beings, may all beings be loved and felt loved. May all beings be happy and healthy. And may all beings experience the ease of well-being, and may all beings be at peace. And then we come back to everybody on this call. May we all be loved. May we all be healthy. May we all be happy. And may we all experience the ease of well-being. And may we all be at peace. And just looking in and thanking yourself for doing this practice for you and by you. For you taking these moments on a busy night, after maybe you've worked, or there's dinner going on and there's kids around, just thanking yourself for continuing to show up, right? Because that truly is the first step, is literally showing up. And think of this the same way as you move forward into your practice of meditation. Think of it as just watering those seeds and continuing to show up. So thanking yourself for doing that work for you and by you. And when you're ready, very slowly and gently, just allowing these eyes to open as you bring back this sense that you just created. Beautiful. That's the practice of metta. And you can see why I have it tattooed on my hand. That's my ring. That's my wedding band is the practice of metta. Because to me, it means so much, right? Like this practice in particular really helped change my life, if I'm being completely honest, right? Because when I learned that it's okay to like fill my cup up and to say, I want to be loved, and I want to be able to love, and I want to be healthy, and I want to be happy, and then to then wish that in other people. Because the first, I don't know, 8 years of my career, I was just always focusing outward, always on everyone else, and it was causing me, I was overweight and I was unhealthy, and starting to turn the mirror inward and saying it's okay to like work with people and be selfish and just be a parent. And sometimes you need a friggin' break, like a shower is a break even, right? Like I feel you, I work from a real place. Hold on, I got a comment or a question. What does meta stand for? Great question. It's metta with a T. I just talked really fast. So it's loving kindness. Love. Some people say love and kindness, or loving kindness, which I really think we really need right now. If I put my like hippie hat on for a second, right? I just think if we look at social media and people being angry, no one's ever happy, right? No one's ever happy. And I just think if we do meta, I obviously not naive. I work in the real world and I don't think everyone's going to change. But I believe that if we start our day with this, the probability of being nicer to people is a real thing. My actually Bo's teacher, like when she was Dexter's teacher, my oldest, she told me, she's like, "Oh, Mike, I'm taking this program, with this one agency, and they're using your like meta and self-compassion meditation." She's like, "I'm doing it every day." That made me feel so happy. Not that she was using my meditation, but that she was doing meta every day before she went into work to teach my one of my humans who I love the most. That meant so much to me. So I thought, if she's filling her cup up and she's saying that she loves herself, like that to me, knowing that she's with my kid for 7 hours, game changer. Okay. That's how I look at this. Be selfish. Make me the bad guy. Okay. To all your partners. And you're like, well, I have this thing I have to do for my self-care. Make me the bad guy. Well, I'm doing this thing with Mike, and this mindful Mike guy, and he said I have to try this out for at least a couple of weeks. Be selfish. Fill your cup up. You already do enough for everybody else. Okay. It's okay to do that. Right. I promise you. Like my wife reported, 97% of the time that I'm selfish is okay with her. And I can work with the 3%. Okay. I can work with it. So I thank you all for what you do. And I especially thank you for continuing to show up, right? And to message me. Keep it coming. If you have questions, right? Next week, I believe is our last week. So if that's the case, then if you have any questions you want me to address, we can do more talk and answer. Okay. Thank you. I understand you have to go. Thank you for staying on. So if anything comes up, please feel free to message me. Okay, everybody? If we want to do questions, or there's questions now, of course, we can do them live. I have no problem. I can stay late. If you have to go because you got stuff to do, it's all cool.